Good morning, everybody. This is Luke Kenobi here, and today we have another article that just came out today, and it is titled "Ubisoft runs to New York Times to attack players in defense of Assassin's Creed Shadows." Now, Assassin's Creed Shadows has gone through a lot. They have been there's been controversy after controversy after controversy with this game. Ever since they tiled it and they have a female Japanese woman working with a black samurai, and they are proclaiming that this black samurai Yasuke was once a samurai in those timelines, but there has not been no proof. Just because there's pictures of him, that doesn't mean it shows a story background that if he was a samurai, because he was just a servant during that time. He was just a servant, not a samurai. It didn't say that. So, unless there's proof that he was a samurai, you know, we just keep going. So, a lot of people, including Japanese people, are mad and upset of how they're treating their religion, their culture, and it's just and Ubisoft doesn't want to admit it. They don't want to try to apologize or anything whatsoever. So let's get down to this right now and see what's going on. In a play straight out of Prime Video's playbook for Lord of the Rings: Rings of Power, Ubisoft leveraged Zachary Small and the New York Times as well as a so-called expert to attack players ahead of the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows. If you recall back in February 2022, Rings of Power executives worked with Vanity Fair writers Anthony Breznican and Joanna Robinson to attack fans of J.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, knowing that what they had created was an abomination. First, the duo wrote when American Amazon released photos of multicultural cast, even without character names or plot details, the studio endured a reflexive attack from trolls, the anonymous online kind. Then they cited a woman named Maria Rios Maldonado, who they described as a Tolkien scholar. However, she is anything but. Rather, she was a PhD student at the University of Glasgow who is interested in ethics, feminist theory, and encountering the other in Tolkien's works. She also happened to be the Equality of Diversity Officer for the University of Glasgow's Centre for Fantasy and Fantastic, and the Fantastic. She was used by Vanity Fair to attack Tolkien fans and imply they are racist for simply wanting a lore accurate adaptation. Man, my throat's a bit dry. Maldonado question. Obviously, there was going to be push and backlash, but the question is from whom? Who are these people that feel so threatened or just disgusted by the idea that an elf is black or Latino or Asian? Ubisoft has done something similar with the New York Times and small, like Brenizikin and Robinson Small wrote. Some gamers erupted over his appearance, convinced that the franchise, known for its immersive recreations of the past, had gone woke by including a black character in his depiction of the 16th century Japan. He then claims that developers received personal attacks and death threats during an online harassment campaign. To no surprise, he shares no evidence of such attacks or threats. After attacking gamers, Small then reaves a false narrative that has already been refuted for months by citing historian Yu Hiyama, who is an admitted communist. Small sites, Hiyama's claim that it was without question that Yosuke was a samurai. There are very few historical documents about him, but there's no doubt that he was a samurai who served Nobunaga. However, it is very disputed that he was a samurai, and historian Yuki Gosa, who is a faculty member of the International Research Center for Japanese Studies, focusing on Japanese medieval history, and the author of What is a Samurai? speculated that Yasuke was simply old Nobunaga's bodyguard and entertainer rather than a samurai. He was asked about Japanese website, the Sankei Shimbun, what kind of person was Sasuke and was he a samurai or not? He also responded, there are very few historical records about Yasuke, so it is difficult to say. The history of Yasuke has not been the subject of much research, in part because the history of personalities is not the mainstream of historical studies. In the 15th volume, the Nobunaga Koki, in the collection of the Sonkei Kakubunko, which is one of the biographies of Nobunaga Koki, to chronicle Nobunaga's life, there is a description of Nobunaga giving Yasuke a sword and a house, including that he treated him as a samurai. However, this is something that only appears in this biography among the dozens of manuscripts of Nobunaga Chronicle, and we cannot deny the possibility that it was added later when the manuscript was transcribed. Goza continued. Also, even if he was a samurai, he may have been a formality, for example, in the Edo period. Feudal lords who were fond of sumo had their own personal wrestlers. Formerly, they were treated as vassals or samurai and allowed to wear a sword, but even if a war broke out, it was not expected that the feudal lords would allow their retainers to fight on the battlefield. Not only did Small cite the communist Hirayama, but like Vanity Fair with Maldonado, he cited Kasuma Hashimoto, who is described as a Japanese consultant and translator in the video game industry. Hashimoto told Small, it was people in the West who were upset with seeing Yasuke as a samurai. This is pretty false and makes absolutely no sense, given Small even admits that Ubisoft apologized to Japanese players. Small wrote, after the online blowback, the game's developers team attempted to assuage concerns about the game's authenticity, apologizing in a lengthy statement for promotional materials that is sad and bothered some Japanese audiences. In fact, he even noted that a political party in Japan family asked the government to comment on what is considered historical inaccuracies. Japanese YouTuber Shoei Kondo also explained a number of reasons why Japanese gamers are opposing the game and have a signed petition calling for Ubisoft to cease development on it. He said, we are protesting marketing EI's historical distortion stemming from their disregard for Asians and their arrogance and discriminatory responses to protests from Japan. From there, he focuses his video on what he describes as the biggest attempt to distort history Japan. That is the legendary samurai they claim, Yasuke. I mean, there's been so little that if he was a samurai or not, man. But you know what, dude? It's just becoming... This piece right here is becoming old news right now. But not only that, bro. You got Ubisoft trying to get New York Times to write an article about fans of the series and the history of Japan, teasing them that they were haters. It's not about being hatred, man. It's about that people are sick and tired of you throwing excuses out there. This is a DEI thing. And that's what they're doing. They're trying... I mean, look, I had no problem if you were going to make a Japanese game, do it based on Japan, based on their culture. Don't put a black guy in the game just because you're saying that there's only little history that Yasuke was a samurai, which there hasn't been any doubtful proof. Only little. There's only little evidence, but there's not enough to convince otherwise. I would have been okay with a young young Japan male and a female Japan working together and all. I'm sure there's a history on that, but You guys keep doing the same. These people keep doing the same thing. And besides, Ubisoft is part of that DEI issue right now, just like Activision. But you know, I can say this right now. I know that the Assassin's Creed Shadows may not do well on sales, man. Just like Star Wars Outlaws, it didn't go well on sales. I have a bad feeling that this will not go on sale either. So that's going to be it for the video. You guys let me know what you guys think of this. If you like the video, hit the like button. Share this video. Post a comment below. Let me know what your thoughts about this. Are you excited for this game? Are you not excited? Are you tired of this controversy? You know, are you tired that these game developers wants to try to attack the fans? You guys let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts about this? And if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button for me. All right, you guys. Catch you guys later. Bye for now.